Hello, welcome to our workshop, which is sponsored by the Nancy Thompson Learning Commons. My name is Linda Cifelli, and I am one of the librarians here at Keene University. Today's session will focus on how Pivot RP may be used to support Keene University's efforts to achieve R2 Carnegie classification by helping Keene researchers to identify and connect with new opportunities for funding and collaboration. Today's workshop will focus on introducing Pivot RP as a valuable tool for identifying external grant funding opportunities from a variety of sources, demonstrating how participants and other Keene scholars can begin using their own Pivot accounts, and guiding participants through key Pivot functions, including quick and advanced searching, tracking opportunities, and setting up alerts. Keene University subscribes to Pivot RP, an online suite of tools that combines the global funding databases Pivot and Research Professional. Pivot RP is available to Keene University faculty, administrators, professional staff, and students who may use it to identify funding opportunities across wide-ranging disciplines from federal, non-federal, foundations, and other private sponsors. In addition, researchers may use Pivot RP to identify potential research collaborators from around the world. Pivot RP is an essential tool for Keene University and its researchers to apply for more external funding and achieve increased levels of funding for research. This resource may be accessed through a link at the bottom of the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs website, as well as through the Learning Commons website, or by going directly to the URL pivot.proquest.com. For today's session, I'm going to start at the Learning Commons website. So I'm going to stop sharing this slide, and I will navigate over to the Learning Commons website. So from the Learning Commons website, which is learningcommons.keene.edu, I'm going to click on the link for Databases A to Z, which resides in the center of the screen just below the WorldCat Discovery search box. So I'll click on Databases A to Z now, and then I'll navigate to Pivot RP through the alphabetical menu. So I'll go ahead and click on P, and then scroll down, and here's the link for Pivot RP. Once you access Pivot RP, users will need to set up a Pivot account in order to utilize all Pivot functions. First-time users should go to Pivot RP, then complete the steps listed below. So we're going to click on the link for Create an Account, which is in the center of the screen. Two options appear, but from this screen, we recommend that you click Use email address / create password. So it's the link that's more on the right side of the screen. Do not click use institutional login credentials. That option does not appear to work. So if you click on use email address, create password on the right, you can then fill out the form using your Keene email address and select Keene University from the affiliated member institution drop-down menu. So it is showing on my screen right now. So once you submit or fill out and then submit the form, you will receive an email message with an account verification URL. Click that URL to confirm your registration information and then proceed to log in to your new account. Of course, users who already have a Pivot account can simply click Sign In on the Pivot homepage. I'll do that now. And then log in using the username and password that you had previously established for your Pivot account. So I'll log into my account right now. And I can now see that I'm logged in. I see my name appearing in the top right corner. After creating your Pivot account and signing in for the very first time, for many people, Pivot will pull up a list of potential profiles for you and will ask you to claim your profile by selecting This is Me. You can also click Create Your Profile if necessary and follow the steps provided. Please note that you do not need to claim or create your profile when first creating your account. You can instead claim your profile at a later time. The Ex Libris editorial team, this is the organization that produces the Pivot database. The editorial team has created more than 3 million faculty profiles, and each profile serves as an individual's user identity and is associated with the individual's institution, papers published, and relevant funding opportunities. Once you claim your profile or create your profile, Pivot will send you funding recommendations that match the content and preferences listed in your profile. In addition, you will be able to customize your profile so that you will receive funding recommendations targeted to your evolving research interests. You can update your profile by taking the following steps. You can either select your profile in the user menu that appears in the top right corner. Just click on the drop-down arrow and then there's a link for your profile. Or you could select profiles from the main navigation bar that appears towards the top left corner of the screen in this pale gray area. So there's a profiles link there. But you also have a link for My Profile that appears right in the center of the screen in the tile labeled My Profile and Groups. So once you click on Profile or My Profile, it will open up your profile page. So here we can see mine. And there's an Edit Profile button that we can click and then click Continue. And at this point, you'd be able to edit your profile by clicking Add, the Add button that appears along the right side of the screen. You can click Add next to any of the areas, such as the ORCID or the Expertise or Affiliations area. You can add information about you, about yourself, to your profile. For instance, if you click Add to the right of the ORCID option, you'd be able to add your ORCID ID, but you can also add other researcher IDs that appear, so you have several options. Further below, you can click Add next to Expertise, and this is where you can add some keywords that describe your current or evolving research interests. And then you have other options as you scroll down: affiliations, education, keywords, languages, and so on. So by adding personalized details to your profile, this will help Pivot RP to identify relevant funding opportunities for you. Once you're done, you can just click or scroll back up, click the Done button, and then click OK. And then I'm just going to go back to the previous browser window, which is where I can access the main part of my Pivot account. And I'm just going to click on the Home button that appears in the top left corner to get back to the home screen. So the Pivot RP homepage features a number of navigation areas and panels. For instance, we do have the top navigation. It's in the top right corner, and that's where you'll see your name and be able to access your user menu. You can, as we saw, you can access your profile, but you could also get to your account information if you need to change your password, and so on. There's also the main navigation bar, which is the pale gray area that extends across the top of the screen. From here, you can access system announcements towards the right side. There's a user help guide. We could just click help. And you can also access the main menu items that are more towards the left side of the screen. A little bit further below, there's the My Funding Opportunities panel, where you can click tabs for various lists of funding opportunities. You can also access your tracked opportunities, your saved searches, the curated opportunities, and so on. There is a search panel that also appears in the center of the screen. We'll look at this in a few minutes, but basically this is where you'll be able to type keywords into the search box, or you could click Browse Funders A to Z, or the Advanced Search option. Other panels that also appear are the My Profile and Groups panel and the Tips and Resources panel, which can be very helpful because there is a link for contact information. If you need to contact the tech support for Pivot, you'd be able to do that from here. But there is also a Knowledge Center section, which provides a lot of how-to resources and tips for searching for funding opportunities and revising your profile. So let's look a little bit closer at the search panel, which, as we mentioned, does offer several searching options. So for instance, you can type some keywords right into the quick search box. You could use some common database searching strategies, such as the asterisk as a truncation symbol. So for instance, if you're interested in focusing on autism in children or autism in childhood, you might consider using the asterisk truncation symbol after typing the beginning parts of the word stems, and this will give the database a chance to find all of the variant word endings for that word stem. Another option would be to use proximity searching, proximity operators, such as if you're interested in digital literacy, but you want to give the database a chance to find the words digital and literacy within 5 words of each other. You could type W/5, and that instructs the database to do just that. It's a proximity operator. The words have to be within 5 or however many number of words from each other. So that will help you to open up your search options a little bit. You can also incorporate phrase searching by putting quotation marks around any phrases that you're interested in, such as the 2-word phrase learning commons. Just put double quotes around those words, and the database will only retrieve items that mention that exact phrase. Bear in mind that searching with very narrow keywords may not retrieve many results. It will likely work better to search using broader keywords representing the broader discipline within which your research falls. So for instance, if you're focusing on learning commons in a university setting or digital literacy in a university setting or with college students, you might consider searching for higher education or adult learning, and that will open up your opportunities in the search results. Another option for searching would be to click Browse Funders A to Z, which appears right below the search box. This screen will give you the opportunity to browse alphabetically by sponsor name or to browse by non-US national government. We see that option on the left, or to browse by US federal government funders. You could also scroll down a little bit further. You can browse by the country of funder and so on. So you have many options available to you for browsing around without actually typing in keywords. Another option for searching would be the advanced search option. So I just went back to the home screen, and the advanced search link appears once again right below the search box. And the advanced search form gives you opportunities for more precise searching options. For instance, this advanced search screen provides built-in Boolean operators, the ands and the ors. And this enables you to combine your alternative keywords in various ways. It also provides drop-down menus that enable you to target specific fields within the database. For instance, you can instruct Pivot to retrieve records that contain the keywords that you type in within the record abstract or the record title or the funder fields. So you do have options to control how the database will actually run the search. If you leave it on all fields, the drop-down menu, that will give you the broadest type of search. It'll search all of the different parts of the database. When you scroll down on the advanced search screen, you will also see additional opportunities to target specific funding opportunities. For instance, you can indicate the amount that you're interested in. You can indicate the deadlines or the applicant institution location, and so on. The funding type is another option. So you have ways of searching in a very precise manner using the advanced search form. However, there's another interesting way to identify funding opportunities through Pivot. So for instance, I'm just going to go back to the home screen. And if we click on the link for funding that appears in the top gray area towards the left, what you'll see is that a funding wheel appears. It's a very visual way of browsing in the database, and you can access information, funding opportunities, just by moving your cursor over the chart. So this is an interactive chart. So with each section of the chart, you'll find that it's linked to keywords that Pivot experts have matched to funding opportunities. So when you move your cursor over different areas of the chart, you will see the total amount of funding available as related to that keyword. So you can click on any part of that chart, and then a list of funding opportunities that match that keyword will appear on your screen. So in addition to these various search opportunities, there are additional time-saving options provided by your Pivot RP account. And I would like to highlight several of these Pivot functions. So whether you're running a quick search or an advanced search or using the funding wheel, the visual search, you will be able to save your search and saving your keywords and your strategies. And we'd like to take a look at this type of option. So I'm going to go back to the home screen. And now I'm going to do a quick keyword search. So here I'm going to search for information literacy and STEM. So the lowercase doesn't matter, or uppercase. What does matter is that I'm connecting these keyword terms with and, instructing the database to find only records that mention both information literacy as well as STEM. So once I run the search, I will see some search results. And right above the search result list, I do see several links. So it does remind me of how I actually ran my search. And just below that, there's a link for Save Search. So I'm going to click on that. And this will allow me to give this particular search an identifying name. So I'll do InfoLit STEM. And then it's automatically putting a check mark next to, would you like to receive a weekly email containing new or updated opportunities from this query? So I'm going to keep that checked. And I'll click Save. And I can see that it was successful in saving that search strategy. So now every week I will receive an email indicating whether any new funding opportunities related to information literacy in STEM fields is now available. So this is a great way for me to save time and to let Pivot do some work for me while I'm busy doing other things. While you're viewing a search result list, however, you do have several other options. So for instance, you can select a particular opportunity from the list. So if anything looks like it may be interesting for you. So if I click on, say, the innovative technology experiences for students and teachers, maybe that's relevant for my work. I can click on the link for that funding opportunity. And I see some more information about this opportunity, so about this grant. And up towards the top right corner of the screen, there's a link for track. So if I click on track, it should indicate in a moment that I am now tracking this funding opportunity. However, I could have also just done something similar right from the search result list. So what I could do here, if I see multiple items or even just one, I could click the checkbox to the left of the funding opportunity name, and then click the track button up at the top of the list, just above the list. So whichever way you track the opportunity, you will add these opportunities to your tracked opportunities list, which you did have an opportunity to get to that list right back at the home screen. So this will help you to stay abreast of updates regarding the grant, or perhaps to keep track of upcoming deadlines related to the grant. Another thing that you can do while you're viewing the actual screen with information about the grant, so I'm going to click back on one of the titles. To the right of the information screen, there is a link for share. And this will allow you to send information about this grant to a colleague or colleagues. So you could just type in the email address that your colleague uses. Hopefully they have a Pivot account as well. What we could also see from the information screen about that grant, on the right side of the screen is a section for potential collaborators. So apparently for this particular grant, Pivot is identifying 266 potential collaborators from inside Kean University. So we could click that and see the names of people at Kean University who might be interested in working on a grant funded project. So if we go back, you also have an opportunity to click on the list of potential collaborators from outside our institutions. So that would be a good way for you to reach out to people working at other universities or other research institutes. And that is a great option as well. You can easily track your tracked opportunities and things that you've shared right from the home screen. We had seen this earlier, but there is the My Funding Opportunities panel in the center of the screen, and that's where you can click on Tracked Ops. And you'll see the list of the opportunities that you're currently monitoring, but you also have the option to click Saved Searches from the My Funding Opportunities panel. And that's where you can see the various searches that you've saved over time, and you can access the result list very quickly from your saved searches screen. And you can click on the options and get to the archived results, or to turn off the email alert, so you can control that if you'd like. And I'll just go back to the home screen. So hopefully you will find that Pivot RP is a very user-friendly and effective way to identify potential funding opportunities relevant for your research interests. If you have not already done so, please create your own Pivot account, claim your profile, and start exploring. I'm going to go back to the slideshow for a moment. And I do want to thank you for viewing this webinar recording. We are always happy to address any questions that you might have about Pivot RP or any other resources available through Kean University's Nancy Thompson Learning Commons. So please reach out to us through the email addresses shown on the screen. My email address is lcifelli@kean.edu. But you could also email Mohammed Hassan, who is the Executive Director of the Learning Commons. And we also have the Learning Commons at kean.edu email account, which is monitored by all of the Kean librarians. So please reach out to us, and we wish you well on your research projects. And please stop by and see us when you have a chance. Thank you.